And back. More hack GU. Spent some time doing some leveling, some questing, and Pie's back with some information. To GU members, I have something I need to tell you all regarding Fidel's prophecy. Assemble at Raven's at home. Okay. So I'm level like 120, 121-ish. Which should be good enough for this next major thing. That's the hope, anyway.
Ina, where did you go?
What a beautiful story. Maybe even my new favorite. Ovan? Next time you visit, will you read it to me again? I promise to get better. Okay, Ovan? Okay?
Yeah. That's...
Ovan, I'm scared. Ovan?
Yeah.
Ina. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad you're back. Can you move? Wait a minute. Could Ida have done something to you? No. You. Not only have you made Ina unconscious, damn you to hell, are you going to steal everything from me? There's no more time. The last resort. No, I guess this was the only resort, right from the start.
It looks like she's figured something.
So now you kind of figured what was going on, but they spell it out for you. Alright, what do we got? Other than ambulances in the background.
There's only one reason why I would have called you all here.
You're back.
The mysterious prophecy of Fidel of the Prophet.
Yes, about that.
There's something about that prophecy that bothers me. It's the fact that it's referring to one specific person. Something about it seems off. Look.
The aberrant key, born in thy left arm, the key of twilight, born in thy right arm, the final wave, the surge of rebirth shall become light and fill the world. Thou shalt lead the new gods to their twilight. Thou destroyest and createst, thou powerless one, as the stirring footsteps of a giant shadow sound. Oh, blessed be the little ones.
One who bears the unearthly key in their left, and the key of twilight in their right.
No, that's Ovan, obviously.
Now I think, based on what we know, we could interpret the prophecy this way. A man who has Ida sealed in his left arm, and also bears an epitaph.
You mean Ovan? I see. Then... if they shall be the one to lead the new gods to their twilight, then Ovan is gonna be the one to do that. There's no one else it could be. The twilight of the gods?
Originally, that referred to the final war of the gods in mythology. The end of the Age of the Gods.
Ovan's going to bring on the end of the age?
We shouldn't engage in further conjecture.
Aw, man, this is such a big mess. What are we gonna do?
Find Ovan and smack him out of it?
Remember, Ovan's always been behind Ida. I think we should go after him.
Yeah.
Ovan is the key to all of this.
Has always been.
True.
And sure enough... wow, it's almost as if he could hear us.
What the?
Right on cue, I suppose.
Ovan.
Hello. So all the epitaph users have awakened. Finally.
So, was this all part of your plan?
Not at all. All of this has been coincidence upon happenstance. I believe we all have many things to talk about. Sigma immersed. Crimes paraphrase. Go there now and use area hacking to enter the outer dungeon. In that place, I will tell you the truth. That truth is also for you, Haseo.
Sigma immersed. Crimes paraphrase.
I will go with you. I'll be waiting in front of the Chaos Gate. Come prepared.
Yeah,
Alright.
this time, I'll find out the truth. We'll use area hacking once we're...
Yeah. Okay, I should get some virus cores for Endrance's weapon. Because Yada's going to be waiting in Brig Epina, so we can do that first. me. Stuff is happening! Yeah, oh, that's staff. Blade. Level 2. Right. This makes that more powerful. I'm still not level 135, so I can't beat these capstone monsters. Let's get this done. Second fight with Ovan, I suppose. Makes sense. Level 119. Okay,
Are you
good.
ready? We'll head to the outer dungeon with
This time, Shino.
Yeah. So we're a little higher level. Not that it would matter much. Ovan's attack pattern is pretty much the same as it's gonna be. It's just a second form. It's a second phase of what we did at the end of Volume 2. And, so I guess I'll fight... no, let's do this. Do as you please. So yes, what are we gonna talk about? We're gonna be talking about Ovan, of course. So, Ovan is an interesting villain of sorts. Because as we've seen, he's a villain by circumstance.
Lucky for you to have met me.
It's justified in a way
You're not getting away.
because he is protecting someone. He's protecting his little sister. There's only so much that you can do in that case, but the machinations that he has to go through, the use of rebirth, and that's an interesting concept that builds into the original Hackers idea. Originally, Korvanik the Rebirth was the final boss in the Hack games. First few. And Korvanik was not all that challenging, but annoying nonetheless, because it was the final wave. Once you beat him, the cursed waves basically ended and the world went back to normal and the lost ones were saved. There were other things like, I would say Kubia was a monster before, but it was more of a side thing. It was what was known as the dark part of Kite's bracelet. And Kite was the main character. Kite used the Twilight bracelet to use data drain so that he wouldn't be a wasted character. You know, that was his main character superpower. Haseo doesn't have that because everybody has data drain in this. But suffice it to say, the bosses from that have been retooled into the Epitaph users in this game. So Ovan got Korvanik the Rebirth. And his goal, apparently, was to use his power of rebirth at some point to do something for Aina. Couldn't do that because Yata hadn't awakened, and that's what his goal was with the last major scenes. But now that Yata's awakened, Ovan can do machinations. The thing with Ida is Ida's volatile. It's malevolent, but it's also like volatile. You can't really kind of contain it. It just does what it wants to do. It acts in accordance of what it wants to do, and learning what it wants to do. It's more that people get corrupted by it rather than it itself being malevolent or evil. It's just, it preys upon malevolence and hatred. So I don't know how Ida. It's weird because Ida itself is the main thrust of the narrative. So
Lucky for you to have met me.
the thing about it is, Ovan has been corrupted, but his knowledge of the situation has informed Sakaki, who ended up, being way more of a, standard, straightforward villain than we would have surmised. Ovan at least has a sympathetic tinge. And that's always been at the core of it. And it's always been at the core of what he would do in Dahak Roots, but they didn't go that far. Because, again, Roots was an intro to this, so they couldn't give away enough. But just because he's sympathetic doesn't mean that he doesn't do dangerous things. He's the one who PK'd Shino. That's not something you can get away from. It's not something you can absolve yourself from. Whether he did it because he was corrupted or because he wanted to do, obviously he wasn't going to. Shino and Ovan are... It's weird because... Explosion. It's weird because Ovan and Shino aren't, like, boyfriend and girlfriend, but they kind of are. But yeah, so Shino and Ovan sort of are an item, sort of not. Like Haseo is sort of into Ovan, yeah, Shino's sort of into Ovan and Haseo both as friends. It's never really defined, like, which person she likes most. I think the hints point to Ovan, personally. But there's always that tinge that, like, Haseo and Shino are a thing. Because Shino gives him his phone number, She wouldn't do that if they weren't close, But the implication is, I think Haseo thinks more of Shino than Shino thinks of him, but it's never assured, right? So it's always like, when push comes to shove, I think Shino would prefer being around Ovan, just because they've known each other longer or understand each other. And that's the thing, is they've known each other before Haseo and Shino did, so it's kind of like, it's a sort of love triangle, sort of not, because they don't really express it in that sort of way, so it kind of leads down a weird... It's not as direct as the Adderley Alcade was, let's just say that. That's the best way I would describe it.
How unlucky for you to have met me.
So it's never truly defined, and I don't think it's meant to be. It's left up to interpretation. So yeah, if Haseo's going through all this trouble because he likes Shino, and to an extent loves her because of what they spend time in Roots in the Twilight Brigade. And Shino likes Ovan too. But then another person comes into the party, Tabby, who sort of falls for Haseo too, and it's weird, so that you have all these competing interests. It's not really a harem show, because let's face it, Dahak is way more dramatic than that. It doesn't fall for that shit. The game is allowed to, because it has a lot more room to breathe. But at the same time, it's more than that. It's just super complicated because Ovan's dealing with his sister. And then Ovan gets corrupted and then attacks Shino. Right? Then Haseo finds out that this is what's been going on while we're playing the game. So it's trying for a lot more complex scenarios than Ovan's evil, Sakaki's evil, kill their ass, right?
This is a piece of cake.
It's going for more tragedy, because now Alcade's caught up in this, Sirius has been caught up in this because of Ovan being the trigger point, the patient zero of all this. He didn't cause Alcade to be PK'd. He wasn't the one who did it, but he was the one who root cause of it. Sakaki, who was run by Ovan, led him to it. So, in a sense, by process of like 2 or 3 steps, Ovan is the cause of Alcade also becoming the Lost One, Sirius, and etc. So, all of the things that Ovan has done have led to this. And normally, I would say machination, you know, mastermind villains are not my thing. But Ovan has always been an ever-presence, right? He's not sitting in a chair waiting for things to happen. He's doing things, and he's always a presence, you know, pestering the party, doing things. He's not just sitting in a chair being a dork. Like, say, the Xenosaga's one of the final bosses, Wilhelm, sitting in a chair. His motivations are slowly peeled back, and then you fight him at least. And then you understand, okay, now he's PK'd a couple people or attempted to PK people in my party. There's a difference. It's the same thing like, I'd say, Arden, right, from Final Fantasy 15. He is an unsympathetic, to an extent, mastermind. But when push comes to shove, when the plot calls for it, he's going to do things. He actively attacks the party in one way or another. And that's the difference. If you're just a guy sitting in a chair because you've been preordained the final boss or one of the final bosses, but you don't really do anything, it's hard to justify your station, because why do I care that I'm beating you up just because you put me in the situations? No. I would be more inclined to hate the people actively trying to kill me than the person that's been setting it all up. Because it's the Hellsing thing. I watched Hellsing Ultimate a year or so back, and their final villain was some Nazi dude sitting in a chair spouting nonsense. I'm sorry, but I'm not threatened by you, because Alucard is awesome and you're not. And you're not doing anything. You're just sending goons after me, but you're sitting in a goddamn chair. Why do I find you personally threatening? Ovan, at least, has had all of this time and build-up as a sympathetic sort of thing. You know, malevolent to an extent because of Ida, but sympathetic because he's tried to do something noble, you know. So again, it's not the easiest of situations to talk about and deal with, because by and large, Ovan isn't some foreboding, unassuming, warmongering character. What he is he has so many other layers to him. And that is what the game is trying to express. That it's not a one-to-one situation. He's using Haseo as a conduit for this epitaph stuff, because to trigger the rebirth, they have to all be awakened by one guy. So all 8 have to be awakened, and they all have to be present at the same time. So they've taken an entire anime series and a game, 2.5 games to be precise, leading to this sort of moment. But I think what also helps is that it's not... It's playing mind games with the main character. There's a personal tinge to it. Most mastermind villains are just, I'm evil for the sake of evil, and this is my master plan, and you're gonna get fucked, and it's not gonna be pretty, and I'm gonna... Ovan has been targeting Haseo from the very beginning. And we have seen Haseo grow from this petulant, pissed off, annoying bitch to somebody who cares about people and has been trying to save people in his party, outside of his party, grow to like people, and in some instances even love them. And here's this guy who, whether by himself or with another person, has been targeting me and then doing things to me all game. So as a mastermind, he's been targeting a personal stake. The world is at stake. But it's more than that. He's been manipulating all of the things, all of the people, and every single one of the people. Indirectly or directly. He is messed with every single Epitaph user in some way. He's messed with Haseo personally. He's messed with Adelie through Sakaki, but also driven her to doing the thing at the end of the first game. Kun by machinations of GU, you know, so he has, I'd say, the least amount of involvement. His is more, I'm here for the world's sake, but still, Kun was driven into a corner by all of the circumstances, so he's been affected. Yata, he attacked him recently, you know, mentally, trying to get him to awaken. Sakubo, through Endrance, they've been kind of off on their own.
Yeah, I got it.
But at the same time, they've been thrust into the Sakaki problem too. So while they don't have any direct issue with Ovan, they know that this has been thrust upon them as well, and then Pai through Yata. But also having been PK'd when Ida was revealed, when Triage was revealed. So everybody in this has been affected in some way, whether directly or indirectly, by Ovan. And he's been ever present. So you always kind of felt there was something off. There's a reason he's doing this, and you don't know why all the time. But it's there. It's always in the back of your mind. So he's always there. And again, is he trying to do it for a malicious purpose? No. Ida is. Ida is influencing him to do these evil things, and his only way of kind of combating this is to go to extremes. So there's something to be said for Ovan as a sympathetic villain and a tragic villain in a way, but they're not trying to force it all that much because they've done it since the very beginning. Ovan has been there pretty much from day one, and even before this game even existed. He and Haseo have always kind of been at the center of it. Shino's been involved. So there's more... There's more at play here than even normal games would allow, I think. And that's why GU's always been a strength. GU's always had its own strength is because they have these layered narratives. A lot of them build on each other. Some of them are not as important as others, you know, quest lines and some shit. But characters are intertwined and always involved in things. Everything ends up having a purpose. And those are the kinds of games that work the best. Have they always put all the characters focused? No. But they're always trying to give something. Characters are always trying to be given something to do. Whether the normal player is being caught up in the scenario, whether it's the main Epitaph users, for better or for worse, being involved, there's something. There's always something at play. And we haven't even finished yet. So we're not even at Ovan yet. We're just making it to it. Should be able to burn a barrel. Yay. Sorry, a bit little. There we go. Here we go. So that at least should get us to the outer dungeon. I'm not done yet. I'm just working my way to everything. Potion. Yeah. Oops. I need potion. I need potion. Let's go. Yeah. I love this item boost thing. It's great.
Ovan is somewhere in this outer
Stay on your guard.
Yeah, we didn't really need the outer dungeon part. I'm not gonna lie. But hey, it is what it is. Oh, goody. So my goal is to get to that bottom corner. Wait. You can think. It's one of the corners. I'm not sure which. But it's a lot of fucking weird bullshit. Oh, this'll be fun. Yeah, I need noble drops. Good. Okay, so that's one. So it wasn't bottom corner. Of course it was. So the main thing is I need to find. Save. No, it's the middle. I gotta get to the middle, and then there's another. There's another hacking thing. No!
Don't be careless.
Ah, fuck. Oh boy, outer bugs. Just what I always wanted to fight. Turns out this stuff would have been too big to fit in a normal episode anyway, so it would have been changed. But whatever, OBS. Again, if it was every episode, I probably would have stopped, but that's the thing, it's not every episode. It's every other episode. So it's unpredictable. But I've learned to live with it, I guess. Did you just die? Please? Yeah, we just die? There, God. You suck. You suck!
It was adequate.
Yay. Hey, look at the levels. I'm good with levels. I don't have to fight him if I don't want to, game. There we go. You can save your data. Yeah, don't accidentally hit that, don't accidentally hit that warp. It will take you out of the entire dungeon. I guess you could say I've done that before. So yeah, don't do it. Alright, so I'm keeping a save just in case. But, I'm going to call it here. In fact, what I should do Okay. So that's about as ready for Ovan as I'm gonna be. So next time, the Ovan fight, and it's gonna be a doozy. So I'll see you next time.